Ontario on the eastbound 10 at a
there's different levels of different levels of severity or degrees of severity and levels of impact that mental illness has, or to mental illness. And mental illness is a very serious thing. Being mentally ill is a very serious thing. When the reason people are mentally ill is because they meet the definitional requirements for what society says is the opposite of not mentally ill. So, if you're not mentally ill, and then, or if you're the opposite of not mentally ill, or if society says there is such a thing as not mentally ill, and you're the opposite of not mentally ill, then that means that you're mentally ill. But there are varying degrees and levels, different kinds even, of mental illness, and even of being mentally ill. There are people that can have the same type of mental illness, but they can be mentally ill in different ways, depending on their environment, the people that they're surrounded with, or the people with which they surround themselves, and also the amount of resources that they have available to them, and also the types of rules that society puts on people that are mentally ill. Some people that are mentally ill and other people that are mentally ill. For instance, some people that have access to some resources have to follow certain rules of being mentally ill, and other people that have access to other resources, or less resources, or more resources, they have to find ways to follow rules of society that apply to them that don't apply to other members of society that are mentally ill in the same ways, or in the same way, but they have access to different types of resources, or more resources, or less resources. And so there's different types of mental illness, and there's different levels of mental illness, and there's different degrees to being mentally ill, even though there's the same mental illness. Even though people could be the same, have the same type of mental illness, they can be mentally ill in different ways. And so mental illness is a very serious thing, but it's a very, sometimes can be a very complicated thing. It's a root system, and society is the nutrients that feeds that root system based on the definitions that society puts on not mentally ill, and also the opposite of not mentally ill.
Just got a report of some debris.
So it sounds simple, but it's not.
In Riverside at La Sierra Avenue, and farther
mental illness is not just simple. It can't just be simplified, but it's a very serious thing. Mental illness is a very serious thing.
Traffic reports from